Drew, I just arrived at the hotel for the trip.
Oh, it's you. Are you enjoying yourself so far? How's the place?
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. The room here is even bigger than my apartment. I'm already feeling so relaxed. I can just imagine how comfortable it's going to be to unwind here. It's funny, but family trips are nice, of course, but, trips with my close mom friends have their own special vibe. It's such a different kind of fun and relaxation.
I'm glad to hear that. By the way, I was thinking I should mention something to you.
What's going on?
Tomorrow, I might not be able to check my phone as much.
Oh, what's happening? Is work getting in the way?
Yeah, kind of. It's gonna be a bit of a hectic day, and it looks like it might turn into a big thing. I'll be pretty tied up. Oh, and Amy's staying with my parents for the day, so that's all arranged. I don't have to worry about her while I'm busy.
Ah, I see. Got it. Sounds like a packed day ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So don't worry about me. Everything on this end is fine.
Okay, understood. I won't bother you then.
By the way, who exactly is with you on this trip? Just curious.
Oh, it's Smiley's mom and Bree's mom. Is that a problem?
Not really. I was just confirming. Just checking who's with you, that's all.
Ah, gotcha. Well, I'm off to grab dinner with my friends, so I'll catch you later. And don't forget, I'll bring back some cool souvenirs for you. I can't wait to see your face when you get them.
Yeah, don't have too much fun without me, all right? But seriously, don't go overboard and get too crazy.
Drew, I'm home. I just got to the station.
Welcome back!
Sorry it's a little later than I thought. I didn't plan on it taking this long, but I'm really sorry about the delay. By the way, I was wondering, could you come pick me up? I've got a ton of luggage, and it's kind of too much for me to handle on my own.
You have that much stuff with you?
Yeah, well, you know me. I can't resist buying souvenirs. I kept thinking, oh, this one's perfect, and that one too. Now I've ended up with more than I can carry, and it's kind of a mess.
I'm sorry, but I might have had a bit to drink before I realized the time.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it's just this thing I do after a bath, I usually have one drink to unwind. It's just part of my routine, and I didn't think much of it. But then after I had it, I realized, oh no, I might be late.
I totally get it. I mean, I ended up running late too, so it's no big deal. You know what? I'll just grab a taxi and head home myself. You don't have to worry about it.
Sorry about that. I feel bad, but thanks for understanding.
Hey, Drew. Are you away right now? I've been calling for ages and I'm starting to get a little worried. Can you pick up, please? I can't hear the phone ringing from inside the house. Did you put it on silent or set it to vibrate? Is that what's going on right now? I'm starting to wonder if you're just ignoring me.
Oh, wait, did you get here?
Yeah, I'm here now, but the key, well, it's not fitting into the lock properly. I don't get it. What's going on? Do you think maybe my key's broken or something? It's just stuck.
Wait, hold on. I didn't mention this to you, did I? I actually moved yesterday.
What? Wait, hold on. You moved? Why didn't you tell me? What do you mean you moved?
You remember when I told you about the chaotic big move the day before yesterday? That's what it was. I really didn't get the chance to tell you the full details, but yeah, I moved.
Wait. Didn't you tell me you had work to do? You were busy, right?
I mean, moving itself is like a full-time job. It's a lot of work. I did mention it in passing, but I guess I didn't go into specifics. I figured you'd understand.
Hold on, stop right there. How could you forget to tell me something this huge? How could you not mention it? This is massive, and you just didn't think to mention it? Even if this is some weird surprise, it doesn't make sense to do something so big without giving me a heads up. It's just not right.
A surprise? Well, now that you mention it, I suppose calling it a surprise would make sense, but wait, that's not the point. This isn't just a surprise, it's a huge change.
What is going on with you? What are you even trying to pull here? Okay, fine. What's the new address? Where are you living now? Tell me now so I can come to see you. Don't leave me hanging here. I've had enough of this uncertainty. I'm really ready to just rest.
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
What? What do you mean you're not going to tell me? Are you serious right now? Why are you being so difficult?
I don't think you're getting it.
Wait. No, now I get it. You're hiding something, aren't you? You're seeing someone else.
What are you talking about? Are you seriously going to accuse me of something like that?
You're cheating on me, aren't you? This whole move, everything you've done, it's all so you can live with her, isn't it? Some woman you've been hiding from me?
Why do you always jump to such conclusions? Seriously, where is this coming from?
Because, Drew, how else can I explain this? Who is she? Who's the one you've been sneaking around with? I need to know.
Hold on a second. Just because you think this way doesn't mean I'm doing the same thing. You can't just assume that.
What? Are you saying that I'm the one cheating? Are you saying that I'm the one who's been unfaithful? That is completely absurd. That's not true.
Ah, I get it now. So this isn't about cheating, it's an affair?
What?
Yeah, it's not technically cheating, but it's an affair, isn't it? If someone who's married goes and has a relationship with someone else, it's called an affair. I'm just saying that's a much more fitting term for what's been going on.
Wait. Hold on. What are you even talking about?
Actually, this trip you went on, it's literally a textbook example of what an affair looks like. You can't even pretend that wasn't what it was.
What?
A 2-night, 3-day trip, huh? Was that fun? It must have been quite an exciting time for you, right? So much fun while I was left in the dark.
Hold on, wait, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, wait, I know. I hate it when I speak vaguely, don't I? Fine, I'll be clear this time. Let's stop playing games. Listen, you've been seeing someone else. Bry's father. That's right, Eleanor's husband. You didn't think I knew? This whole trip was timed perfectly for when Eleanor was going to visit her parents, wasn't it? And you brought Miley along, who's also been having an affair with her boss. What a nice little double affair trip you two planned.
What the hell? Who told you these things? You're just repeating whatever you've heard without even considering it. Are you serious? Don't just believe whatever nonsense gets thrown at you. This is a huge deal, and you're just jumping to conclusions like this? You don't get to move out because of this. You are messing with my life, Drew. How could you do this to me? You're divorcing me, but you better believe I'll be getting alimony from you, and I am not backing down. No splitting up assets, nothing. I am keeping what's mine. Amy's custody? That's mine, and you can't take that away from me. And don't even think about avoiding child support because I'll be getting it from you.
You think this is gonna be easy, don't ya?
Well, it's too late for your apologies. Don't even bother trying now. What the hell is this? Is this some kind of joke?
This is a picture Eleanor sent me. It's a photo she provided as proof.
Wait, hold on. This can't be real.
This photo shows Lenore's husband bringing you into his house. I know because it's the exact same spot I saw you two together.
How do you even have this?
Well, there's a pet surveillance camera in the living room. She didn't even tell her husband about it. And guess what? It caught you both on camera without him realizing. And there's more footage where that came from. I don't think you want to see it. Trust me, it's a lot worse.
What are you doing with Bree's mom? Why would she even do something like this?
Eleanor knew about her husband's affair already. She didn't sit around feeling sorry for herself. She started investigating everything, and she knew about both of you. She found out the truth, Skylar.
Wait, you're telling me this whole time she knew? I thought we were fine when we spoke at the kindergarten drop-off. There was nothing strange about our conversation.
Yeah, well, I didn't notice anything either. But once I started looking deeper, the truth came out.
Hold on.
I found out about your affair 2 months ago, and I knew about your little getaway a month ago. During that time, I was getting everything ready to move out. Just so you know, I've already told my work about this. I've been straight with them, so whatever happens from here on, you're not going to be able to keep things the same. You'll be kicked out of here.
Wait, so you've been planning this all along, and you didn't even tell me?
No, that's on you. You called it a mom's trip, didn't you? You invited your mom friends, but the truth is it was an affair trip. It was a cover-up for what was really going on.
So you think this is just going to be swept under the rug?
No, not a chance. After everything that's happened, living together is impossible now. This is it, Skylar. We're done.
But we have been living together for the past 2 months. You couldn't have been okay with that.
You have no idea how painful those 2 months were for me. And don't even get me started on that apartment. Your dad hates that place. He made it clear to me. And even though the lease is in my name, I'm the one who's leaving.
Wait a second. I just realized. This whole thing with the key?
Yeah, I changed the locks without telling your dad, so what? It's your dad's fault for not keeping track of things.
What?
I've already talked to your parents, Skylar. They know everything and they're backing me up. They know I'm moving out and they've approved of it. They're on my side.
What? Why would they agree to this?
When I told them about your affair, they were devastated. They even apologized to me. Now they're supporting everything I'm doing.
But this doesn't make sense.
As for the move, I didn't hide anything. I just told them I was leaving while you were away. The idea to change the locks was your dad's. He wanted to make sure you couldn't just waltz back in here without facing what you've done.
What? Why would he go that far?
It's simple. He didn't want you to come back and pretend nothing happened. He thought it would be better to send you back to your parents' house to confront what you've done.
What?
So the apartment's canceled, and guess what? Your stuff is already at your parents' house. Your dad moved it all yesterday.
Wait, you moved my stuff out without even telling me? You want me to go to my parents' house right now? You want me to deal with them after everything that's happened?
Yeah, that's the plan. Enjoy the reception you get when you walk in.
What?
Your parents are so mad right now they want to explode. But they know I need to do this, so they're letting you stay there.
No, you've got to be kidding me.
Depending on how you act when you get there, who knows what'll happen. But right now, it's just about surviving it.
Wait, you can't be serious.
By the way, your parents should be walking up the stairs to your apartment right now.
What?
I just got a message from them saying they're coming up now.
Wait, what?
The only way to get into the building is up those stairs, so you can't get away. You might as well sit tight and wait for them.
Wait a second. How is the timing so perfect?
Because I contacted them. Oh, and just so you know, Lenore's husband has already agreed to the divorce. Miley's mom is on the same path, too. But I guess you've got more pressing matters, like dealing with your parents. I don't think you have time for messages anymore, do you? From now on, everything will be handled by lawyers. Goodbye, Skylar. The discussions surrounding our divorce progressed more smoothly than I initially expected. I had prepared myself for a lengthy and contentious battle, especially over the custody of our daughter. But surprisingly, things didn't turn out that way. I thought for sure that custody would become a major point of contention. However, a few unexpected revelations changed the course of the conversation. It was discovered that my ex-wife had frequently left our daughter in the care of Miley's mom, one of her adulterous partners, as well as another individual involved in her affairs. This came to light during the proceedings, and it quickly became apparent that she had been neglecting her parental responsibilities. This revelation became the heart of the issue, and in the end, it led to me being granted full custody of our daughter. In the aftermath, I've made sure to settle near my parents' home so that I can receive their help in raising my daughter. They've been an invaluable support system, especially considering the circumstances. Raising a child on my own isn't easy, but with their assistance, I'm doing my best to provide our daughter with a stable and loving environment. My parents have been there for me every step of the way, helping me navigate this new chapter in my life. As for my ex-wife, things haven't gone as she may have hoped. After the divorce, it seemed she was planning to remarry her former lover, Eleanor's ex-husband. She was eager to begin a new life with him, but her plans were quickly thwarted by her own parents. They stepped in and strongly opposed the idea of her remarrying, putting a stop to it before it could even take shape. I imagine it must have been frustrating for her to have her choices so heavily restricted, especially after everything that had happened, but considering the way she acted during our marriage, I can't say I feel much sympathy. What really impacted her was the alimony that was imposed after our divorce. The financial compensation that she was required to pay wasn't something she could easily afford. And while she might have initially thought she could somehow avoid the consequences, her parents stepped in to cover the costs. In doing so, they ensured that she couldn't escape her obligations. It seems like she's now living under the watchful eye of her family, repaying the money she owes by working at a relative's business. The arrangement isn't ideal, but it's the situation she's in for now. From what I've heard, she's not exactly happy with the restrictions placed on her life, but at least it's giving her the opportunity to pay off her debts and rebuild some semblance of stability. Though I may not have much compassion for her in terms of what she's going through, I can't deny that I feel a sense of satisfaction in knowing that she's facing the consequences of her actions. In the end, things have worked out well for me, at least in terms of custody. I'm focused on being the best father I can be for our daughter, and I know I'm giving her the love and care she needs. It hasn't been easy, but it's the right thing for both of us. As for my ex-wife, it's clear that she'll have to face the fallout from her decisions for some time. Whether or not she can rebuild her life from here is uncertain, but for now, she's tied to her family's expectations and the responsibilities that come with her choices. I've learned a lot throughout this whole process. I've learned that life doesn't always go the way we plan, but sometimes that's for the best. While the divorce wasn't something I ever wanted, I now see that it was necessary for both my well-being and my daughter's. I'm still figuring out the finer details of life as a single parent, but every day brings a little more clarity. I'm working hard to ensure my daughter has everything she needs, and I've come to realize just how much strength I have in me. I can only hope that as she grows older, she'll understand the sacrifices I've made for her and appreciate the stability and love I've worked so hard to create for us both. The future remains uncertain, but for now, I'm focused on doing my best. And that's all I can do. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Sarah, you've decided to go back home? Why? When I was just about to arrive at Mom and Dad's place, did you decide to leave? Don't you think that's a little too rude for us sisters? Are you not even going to at least say hello to your younger sister? I heard that you'd brought your boyfriend over here, right? Could you bring him to see me at least one time, please? Hey, stop trying to ignore me, you ugly loser. You're getting really annoying again, so could you shut up? Who the hell are you calling annoying? Do you think you have the strength to call me that to my face? Maybe you're just pissed at me still because of how ugly you turned out. Now, hurry up and answer your little sister properly. I'm still on the road driving home, but I've pulled over at a gas station to fill up, so I guess I can talk to you now. Well, none of that matters right now. What really matters is talking about that man of yours. I heard that you guys are even engaged now, huh? Why do you think it's okay to not introduce him to your sister and just go home? Because I don't want him meeting you. That's my reason. All you are is a piece of crap sister that calls anyone she ever sees ugly and worse than you are. That's really embarrassing at your age, and it is for me too, so I didn't bother waiting for you to get home. I get that you're saying that to sound all tough, but I know the real reason. You didn't want him seeing me because you're afraid I'd take him from you. I bet that the moment he gets a glimpse of my face, he'll jump right off your train and onto mine. He would never be able to take a look back at you once he's seen my gorgeous face compared to your ugly one. That's not at all what I was afraid of. I just don't want him near a vile piece of garbage that spews out all this horrible crap and then thinks it's okay just because it looks good. That's the whole reason I made sure you were out of the house for a while before I came over. But you came back a bit earlier than expected. Yeah, whatever you want to say. Seems like it's not only your appearance that's ugly, huh? Well, this time was just bad luck on my part, so I'll forgive you. However, next time, make sure you let me see him when you're around. There won't be a next time, Brandy. I had only gone over there to let them see who I've been dating and to let them know that he's the man I'll be marrying. And I'm not really planning to throw anything big to celebrate us, so there's really no need to invite you guys to anything. So that was the last time I'll be around you guys ever. Huh? What the heck? You're not even going to get my permission to marry him before you go? I don't really care what you think of us. You're not my parent. And it's not like you care about what happens to some ugly girl like me, right? It's still burned into my brain all the memories of how Mom and Dad treated you so much better than me just because you looked cuter to them. I was told over and over again that you got more than me because you were cuter, and that's the whole reason they never even paid for me to go to college. Right as I had graduated middle school, I had to run away from you guys and luckily was accepted into an all-girls private school that had a dormitory for me to stay in. And when I had asked one time to have a little bit of money for college, they turned me down, so I had to rely on scholarships to get me where I wanted to go. I'm sure you understand now why I had to cut ties with you all for a long time, right? And once again, I am going back to no longer involving myself with you all, so please respect that and leave me alone as well. You have a good point that I shouldn't care about what happens to an ugly little duckling like you, but I'm actually only interested in that man you have there. He's the same age as you, right? And just as I had heard from Mom and Dad, he has a really cute face and is just my type. I bet if he got a look at me, he'd be all over me. What the hell are you saying? Could you calm down a little with those fantasies of yours? His name's Logan, correct? When you guys were backing out of the driveway, he must have gotten a good look at my face, right? I bet that blew him away after looking at your ugly face for the past few years. But aren't I a little too old for him? I bet that he's regretting ever getting engaged with trash like you. I doubt that. And Logan told me that he wasn't interested in you when he got a glance. I think all of that is in your head and in your head only. Or could it be that you're just trying to avoid the inevitable here? Well, he sure is a great-looking man. That face is perfect for me. He graduated from Harvard, right? And is now working for a very large bank, right? He has literally everything that I need in a man. Yet he's going to waste all of that on some lost cause like you. Oh, that poor thing. I'd really love to show him what a real woman can do for him. Excuse me? What the heck, Brandy? I bet I could even get away with getting him to do as I say. He's going to be younger than me in the relationship, so I could act like a dominating sister at times. So what do you think about me marrying him for you? I'd really like it if you handed him over to me soon. What? Have you completely lost your mind now? Is this what it looks like when a middle-aged woman hasn't found a man in years that will love her? I'm telling you that his face is my type, and he's going to have a really successful future. I guess I've just been caught in his net. And when it comes to family, it should be the younger sister getting married first, right? Compared to a run-down-looking girl like you, I should be the one with a man wrapped around her. No, what the frick? That's not going to happen. I hate to have to bring this up, but didn't you only graduate from high school and with awful grades at that? You even had to retake a year, and when looking for work, you went through 3 different jobs before you finally gave up. And you're 9 years younger than I am, making you close to 25 right now. I doubt that you'd ever be able to make conversation with a man like him. Huh? My past education and my job experience have nothing to do with love. My job as a wife is to take care of the house and the family. And I'll use my lovely body and face to make him feel like a king every time he gets home from work. I also have that big sister vibe that a lot of younger guys are into nowadays, so I don't need an education or a job. You'll do the chores and raise a family. You will? All I've seen from you is staying in your room and laying around all day while Mom and Dad still care for you. Mom has to do all the chores for you, and Dad has to still give you an allowance. You think that once you get married, you'll just stand up and do a 180? That'll never happen. You just keep on running your mouth, don't you? I've had enough of this, so just listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to be taking your man, so now hand him over. And then take yourself out to find someone that's a little less attractive and a bit more of a shut-in. I have no idea why you think you can talk to me like this still. I knew for a long time that you had something wrong with you, but I'm starting to wonder if you're even human. You're so freaking weird that I can barely even begin to think of any comebacks with you. Do you really think I enjoy listening to some strange alien talk to me in another incomprehensible language? I'd watch what you're saying, Sarah, because both Mom and Dad are going to be on my side here. Huh? They always let me do anything I want, no matter what it is. I already asked them, and they said that one of their daughters would still be getting married, so nothing would change, and that with me being married to him, it'd make a ton more sense since my beauty matches his. So that Logan is going to be marrying me. I'd hurry up and give up on him so that you can start looking for someone a little less attractive. What the hell is wrong with you all? Do you think that Mom and Dad would really do that? Stop talking out of your butt and go away. And get those gross thoughts of my fiancé out of your head. I have no idea what had gotten into you, little Miss Ugly. I'm just asking that you do as the family says and give him to me. Letting him marry you would be a total waste. I bet he would also love to be with a woman like me anyway, so you both get back in your car and come back here for the handoff. He's my fiancé after all. My little Logan. I'm gonna vomit. Listen, Brandy, Logan has been reading all of this conversation, and he says he wants to have a word with you. I'm going to let him speak with you now. What? Really? I bet he's going to propose to me. Oh, I'm so happy. Hurry up and give him my number.
Nice to meet you. I'm glad to be able to marry your younger sister, Sarah, and my name is Logan Bohr.
Well, nice to meet you as well. We just got to meet only a little while ago, huh? I'm Sarah's younger sister, Brandy, and I look forward to marrying you.
Well, my fiancée is Sarah. You have no relation to me besides being my fiancé's sister, so please stop what you're doing.
You don't have to hide your feelings for me anymore. Hey, you can give up on that ugly girl and come and marry me instead. I know that you have an interest in me, right, Logan? I knew by the way you looked at me while backing out of the driveway that you had started to get feelings for me. I suppose this is love at first sight, you and I.
I'm not enjoying listening to these jokes. I had only been looking at you to understand who Sarah's sister really was. And about that love at first sight, unlike you, I didn't feel such a thing while looking at you. The person I'm going to marry is Sarah.
Are you really all right marrying someone as ugly as her? You don't have to keep our love for each other a secret anymore. If you didn't know, she's always looked that bad ever since she was born. If you marry that kind of a girl, you'll end up with ugly children as well.
Unlike what you keep thinking, I don't find Sarah to be ugly in any way. To me, she's a very cute and lovely woman. And since she's the most important person to me, I don't want to hear you talking poorly about her anymore.
You have to be joking, calling her cute. Logan, have you really not noticed just how horrible of a person you've been dating? I suppose we'll need to get you a pair of glasses before the wedding, you poor thing. I bet that the moment you put those bad boys on and see my looks compared to hers, your heart will change in an instant. I think you deserve to have a good-looking wife like me, don't you think? And by having a hot-looking wife in your house, your status will go right up. So go get rid of that girl and come back to a beauty like me.
I'm sorry. I know that you've been going on and on about how good-looking a person you are and whatnot, but have you taken a good look into a mirror lately? Well, to put this bluntly, and I'm sure this will sound rude and all, but you don't look as good as you hype yourself up to be. I'm sure that has to do with you neglecting your hygiene, right? I've noticed that you have a ton of pimples and blemishes on your face that really stand out. Also, your skin looks to be really oily, and I couldn't help but wonder when the last time you took a good shower was. And, well, I'm not sure what to say here, but from the way you've been treating my fiancé, it seems like you have something mentally wrong with you that needs to be addressed.
What? Are you saying I'm hard to look at? Me? That could never be. How rude of you to say something like that to me.
I told you I would be blunt. I never meant for any of that to be mean towards you, but since you keep making fun of my fiancé, I had no other choice than to state some very obvious facts about you. Honestly, I'm angry with you, so I had no choice but to tell you off like this. Compared to you, Sarah not only looks better than you, but she has a way better and healthier heart than you do. Really, it's hard to even compare you to someone as amazing as her.
Stop screwing around, Logan. Are you seriously going to sit there saying that she looks better than me? How could that possibly be? Maybe I was wrong about you having a hard time seeing and needing glasses. Really, you seem to just be blind to what true beauty is.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm fine being blind. At least I still get to love a woman that doesn't have a warped soul, who finds it okay to pick on her little sister and threaten to take her fiancé from her. So I'm glad to be marrying Sarah.
Warped? What makes you think I'm that bad of a person? You need to get a grip, Logan. There is no way I could be that kind of a person. Apologize to me. Apologize to me right now. You can't call me any of that. Now come over here and get on your knees and apologize to me. If you don't apologize to me right now, I'm going to disown her.
Well, that would be great, actually. She already had to leave that house when she was 13 because you guys never cared for her. And this whole time she had been trying her best to at least let you guys know about her life and me becoming her fiancé. So if you think you have to disown her, well, it'll take a lot of weight off her back and mine. And she's already told you that she no longer wants you guys around her anymore, so this is just perfect. Also, I plan to take great care of Sarah as she becomes a part of my family. So you won't need to worry about how she's doing anymore.
What? What is wrong with you? What are you thinking? You'll be stuck living with an ugly witch for the rest of your life, you know, and she's going to be cast out by her family. Why is any of that okay with you?
Because unlike you, she is a very beautiful adult that has succeeded in many things on her own. She doesn't even need to rely on a man like me to function and can do all she needs to on her own. And that's what makes me love her so much. So compared to you, she's a perfect woman.
What?
And as a final note, I have never in my life dreamed of marrying an ugly, unkempt, and unemployed woman. I'm gonna bring the girl of my dreams into my family in a few months, so while I'm busy enjoying my dream come true, go ahead and do whatever you want. And don't you ever show your pimples and oily face around us again. And make sure to let your parents know what I've said here as well for me. Anyway, I hope to never see you again.
After I finished the conversation with my younger sister, I made a decisive decision to block her from my life. I was done with the toxicity she had brought into my world, and I realized that cutting ties with her was the best choice for my own peace of mind. The conversation had been a long time coming, and when it finally happened, I felt a mix of relief and empowerment. But what really struck me during that time was Logan's reaction to the whole situation. He had been calm and composed, but his words to my sister showed just how deeply he cared for me. His protective instincts were clear, and I felt a warm rush inside knowing that he was on my side, standing up for me in ways that I had longed for but never thought I would receive. It wasn't just what he said that impressed me, but how he said it. He was firm but never raised his voice, yet every word he spoke hit like a ton of bricks. I think my sister had never been talked to like that before in her life. She was used to getting away with things, to manipulating others into giving her what she wanted, but this time Logan was different. He didn't let her get away with her behavior, and I think that was the wake-up call she desperately needed. I could see the shock in her eyes as he called her out on her actions, and for the first time, I think she finally realized that not everyone would tolerate her entitled behavior. But it wasn't just my sister who received Logan's wrath. He didn't stop at just confronting her. He also spoke directly to her parents. The way he addressed them, telling them how they had enabled her behavior for so long, really opened their eyes. My parents had always been blinded by their love for their daughter, and it took someone like Logan to pull back the veil and show them the ugly truth. For so many years, they had been in denial, making excuses for her, believing that she was simply misunderstood or that her actions could be excused by her youth or circumstances. But Logan didn't hold back. He told them exactly what I had been too afraid to say for so long. And in that moment, the filter was lifted. The reality of the situation hit them hard, and they had no choice but to accept it. The days following that confrontation were tense. My sister became a shell of the person she once was, retreating to her room and not coming out except to grab food. It was almost like she was in hiding, unable to face anyone. I think, for the first time in her life, she was confronted with the full weight of the consequences of her actions. No longer could she rely on her parents to shield her from the truth, and she was forced to reckon with the person she had become. Her parents, too, had changed. They began to treat her differently, no longer tolerating her entitled attitude. I had always felt that they had coddled her, that they had never held her accountable for her actions. But now it seemed like they were finally seeing her for who she really was. They stopped giving her special treatment, and instead, they started to tell her what they always should have. They told her that she needed to get a life, that she wasn't going to be handed everything just because she was their daughter. Day after day, they would tell her she was a failure, that she wasn't living up to her potential, and that she was going to have to face the real world with no help from them anymore. I think that deep down, my sister had always known she wasn't the person her parents thought she was. The entitlement, the spoiled behavior, it was all a defense mechanism. She had never been forced to confront the truth about herself, and now that she was, she didn't know how to handle it. It's hard to change when you've been given everything for so long and never had to work for anything. Eventually, Brandy reached her breaking point. After hearing her parents tell her that she was worthless and a failure every single day, she snapped. She told them that she was beautiful, that she didn't need anyone's validation, and that she would show everyone how amazing she truly was. With that, she decided to leave home and try to find a modeling job, convinced that her looks alone would be enough to open doors for her. Unfortunately for Brandy, the world didn't work the way she expected. She visited agency after agency, but each one turned her away. Her looks alone couldn't make up for her lack of self-awareness, her poor attitude, and the arrogance she carried with her. I'm sure when she walked into those agencies, the people behind the desks must have been amused by her confidence. But I can imagine they saw through the facade. It wasn't just the fact that she didn't take care of her health that made her unattractive to others. It was the bitterness and insecurity that radiated from her every time she spoke. Her rotten heart and inability to accept criticism or rejection only made her even more unappealing. It didn't take long for Brandy to realize that her dream of becoming a successful model was never going to happen. After being turned away from every agency, she had nowhere else to turn but back to her parents. But this time, things were different. When she returned to their house, they told her she was no longer welcome. They had finally reached the end of their patience, and they made it clear that they would no longer support her. They told her that she had to face the consequences of her actions and that it was time for her to figure things out on her own. With nowhere else to go, Brandy was forced to leave her parents' home and live on the streets. It was a sobering experience for her, and although I don't take any pleasure in seeing her suffer, I couldn't help but feel that it was something she needed to experience. It was the harsh reality she had been avoiding for so long. For the first time, she had to face the world without the safety net of her parents.
Sierra, are you visiting your family again? I've lost count of how many times you've chosen your parents over your responsibilities as Brad's wife. You didn't visit us for Christmas last year, nor for Easter or the 4th of July before that. When exactly do you plan to come here? It's been years since you married Brad, and you haven't visited even once, not even once. What are you thinking? Do you even realize what your responsibilities are as my oldest son's wife?
Hello, Natasha. I've mentioned this several times before, but let me reiterate. I only meet you on special occasions, weddings, funerals, and similar events. As far as I know, there haven't been any recent occasions that would necessitate my attendance. So no, I haven't had a reason to visit you guys yet for a while now.
That's ridiculous! Just because Brad is stationed overseas doesn't mean you can completely neglect his family. Do you realize how selfish this makes you look? As my oldest son's wife, it is your duty to dedicate yourself to his family, especially his parents. This isn't about what you want, it's about tradition and respect.
Are you forgetting why I stopped coming around in the first place? When Brad and I first got married, you immediately started criticizing me. You treated me as if I was some kind of project you could mold into your ideal version of a daughter-in-law. Brad had to step in and tell you to stop, right?
Criticizing you? When have I ever done that? I was only trying to teach you the proper conduct of my oldest son's wife is all.
Then let me ask you, what exactly does your version of proper conduct entail?
Oh my, you mean you still don't know? Fine, since you seem so clueless, I'll explain it again, step by step. 1. An eldest son's wife must never disobey her mother-in-law. 2. An eldest son's wife must wholeheartedly dedicate herself to her husband's family. 3. An eldest son's wife must quit her job and focus entirely on her household. 4. An eldest son's wife must give birth to a male heir and cannot stop having children until she does. 5. An eldest son's wife must live with her in-laws and take care of them with genuine affection. 6. An eldest son's wife must take on all household chores after moving in. 7. An eldest son's wife must sever ties with her birth family and treat her husband's parents as her own. Now, does that clear things up for you?
Those 7 points, they're not just unrealistic, they're impossible for me to follow.
Excuse me?
I'm someone who believes in voicing my opinions. Even if it's with my in-laws, I'll discuss differences of opinion thoroughly. If I see something wrong, I won't hesitate to address it. As for living together, Brad himself said it wouldn't happen. And regarding your retirement plans, Brad told me that you and his father have already decided to handle things independently.
It's just something Brad said on his own. The traditional way is for the eldest son's wife to handle these responsibilities. I've been trying to convince Brad to understand that this is how things should be.
Tradition or not, the idea that I must quit my job and cut ties with my family just because I married Brad is completely unreasonable. I love my career and I plan to continue working. And I'll visit my family whenever I feel like it. That won't change.
You can't just dismiss tradition like that.
And about your insistence on having a male heir, you're aware, I assume, that the baby's gender is determined by the father's chromosomes, correct? It's not something I can control. Also, gender selection isn't something amateurs should even consider. It's unrealistic and, frankly, absurd.
Sierra, what kind of nonsense are you spouting? If you think you can silence me with these flimsy excuses, you're sorely mistaken.
If you consider this nonsense, then what you're saying is nothing short of absurd.
Excuse me?
It's this unrealistic attitude of yours that makes what you're doing feel like in-law harassment.
Harassment? Oh, don't be ridiculous. This isn't harassment, it's guidance. I'm doing my best to help you because you clearly don't understand what it means to be a proper daughter-in-law. And yet you have the audacity to reject my kindness, Sierra?
Kindness, you say?
Yes, kindness. You don't see how much effort I've put into this. It is heartbreaking and infuriating that my sincerity hasn't reached you. You need to understand something. A woman's role is to nurture and protect her household. Quit your job already and focus on your home. I am teaching you this because it's my duty as your senior.
Every family is different, Natasha. Brad and I are building a household that reflects our values, not someone else's.
How can you not understand this yet?
What you call guidance is nothing more than meddling in an attempt to force your beliefs onto me.
But you married into this family. As a member of this household, it's only natural for you to heed the advice of your seniors.
I see. Well, let's talk about some practical matters.
Practical matters? What now? Are you still going to defy me?
First, let's talk about my job. Before I married Brad, I founded my own company and became its CEO.
Wait, CEO?
Yes, if I quit my job, that means shutting down my company. And if the company closes, what happens next? It's simple. My employees lose their jobs and their livelihoods.
You're a CEO? Why haven't I heard about this before?
I mentioned it when we first met, but you dismissed me, saying, "Stop talking about silly dreams and focus on being a proper wife." Even when I tried to explain, you interrupted me and lectured me about proper conduct.
I was only trying to prepare you for your role in this family.
Brad was so frustrated by your behavior that he told me you don't have to deal with my mother.
Brad said that?
In fact, he even suggested I block your contact information. But considering his overseas assignment, I kept the lines of communication open. Now, back to the point, do you still think I should quit my job?
Well, I don't want your employees to suffer, but...
So you understand my position?
But I still think a woman should prioritize her family over her career.
I can't abandon my company.
Oh, I have an idea. You can keep the company running and focus on your home.
What's your suggestion?
Hand over your CEO position to Brad.
Excuse me?
If Brad takes over your role, you can finally focus on being a proper wife.
That's not how it works. Our fields are entirely different.
Brad is a quick learner. He can do it. Let's give it 2 months, train him, step down, and move in with us.
This isn't realistic.
Trust me, Brad can handle it.
Natasha, do you hear yourself right now?
Of course. Now let me call Brad and arrange his return.
There's no need. Brad is here.
What?
He's right here with me. He has something to say to you. Listen carefully to what he has to say.
Brad, when did you return to the U.S.?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? Goodness, why didn't you inform me beforehand? Do you have any idea how shocking it is to find out so suddenly? You could have at least sent me a message.
It wasn't planned in advance, Mom. The return was a last-minute decision due to some personnel changes. This time it's just a temporary trip for meetings at the head office. I'll head back to my overseas post the day after tomorrow. That said, starting next month I'll officially move to a domestic position.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, you should submit your resignation to your current company as soon as possible.
What? Resign? Why?
You read the messages I exchanged with Sierra earlier, didn't you? Then you should already know you're going to take over as CEO of Sierra's company in 2 months. So you need to leave your current job right away and focus on preparing for that transition.
Mom, are you serious right now? Do you even understand what you're saying?
Of course I do.
No, you don't! Mom, I've worked my entire life to get where I am now. Do you remember how hard I worked to land a job in my current field? It's not just a job to me. It's something I've been passionate about for years. And now you're telling me to quit without any regard for what this job means to me?
But Brad, think about it. You'd be a CEO. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You'd earn a much higher income than you do now, and it would provide a sense of financial security for your father and me as we get older.
Mom, Dad has already told me he has no intention of relying on us financially. He's planning to move into a retirement home when the time comes, and he doesn't want to be a burden on us.
Oh, that's just your father being stubborn. I'll talk to him and convince him otherwise.
No, Mom, there's no need for that. I support Dad's decision, and it's something we've both agreed on.
What are you saying, Brad?
I'm saying I've had enough of your meddling. You've been imposing your outdated views on Sierra from the start without ever listening to her side of things. And now you're trying to involve me in your absurd plan to take over her company? It's beyond unreasonable.
Oh, but listen to me.
No, Mom, you need to listen for once. Do you even know what kind of business Sierra runs?
Well, not exactly. I only found out she was a CEO earlier today.
Exactly. You've known her for years now, and yet you've never bothered to understand what she does because you've been too busy dismissing her accomplishments. Let me spell it out for you. Sierra's company operates in a highly specialized field. Most of the employees are skilled professionals with years of training and expertise.
Highly specialized? What does that mean?
It means her business requires a deep level of knowledge and technical skills. You can't just hand the reins to some random person, especially someone like me who has zero experience in that field. Running her company isn't as simple as you think it is, Mom.
But surely, with enough training.
No, Mom, it's not something you can just train for in 2 months. Sierra built her company from the ground up, and it's an extension of her skills, her vision, and her leadership. It's not the kind of thing that can be transferred to someone else, especially not on such short notice.
Well, what exactly does her company do?
I'm not telling you. Knowing you, you'd probably show up at her office and start interfering with her employees.
Interfering? I would never.
Yes, you would. And Sierra doesn't need that kind of stress right now. She's already dealing with enough thanks to your constant pressure.
But Brad, she's the eldest son's wife. She has responsibilities to this family.
Responsibilities? Mom, Sierra has gone above and beyond to show you respect, even when you didn't deserve it. She's tolerated your demands and tried to maintain a polite relationship with you, but you've done nothing but criticize her and push her into a mold that doesn't fit who she is.
I was only trying to teach her the proper role of a daughter-in-law.
No, you weren't. You were trying to control her. And guess what? Sierra isn't the kind of person who'll let herself be controlled. She's strong, independent, and capable. That's why I married her, and that's why she's decided to block your number from now on.
Block my number? What are you talking about?
The only reason Sierra hadn't blocked you before was because she didn't want to make it difficult for me to stay in touch with you while I was overseas. But now that I'm back, there's no need for her to put up with your nonsense anymore.
You can't be serious. She is completely disregarding her role as the eldest son's wife. I won't allow this.
Mom, stop. You don't get to allow or disallow anything. Sierra isn't a servant, and she's not obligated to follow your outdated ideas of what a daughter-in-law should be.
But, Brad...
No. I've had enough. Until you take responsibility for your actions and realize how much hurt you've caused, I'm not coming home either.
Brad, don't be ridiculous.
This isn't ridiculous, Mom. It's the result of your behavior. From now on, if you want to contact us, you'll have to go through Dad. That's the only way I'll consider maintaining any sort of relationship with you.
You're being unreasonable.
Unreasonable? No, Mom! Unreasonable is trying to ruin someone else's career and marriage because you can't let go of your outdated expectations. I hope you think long and hard about everything I've said. Goodbye.
Brad, no, wait. Please don't block me. Brad!
After Brad's report, my mother-in-law was scolded by my father-in-law. However, true to her nature, she refused to change her opinion and remained steadfast in her stance. The truth was, there had been a long-standing disagreement between them regarding how they would handle their retirement years. Their visions for the future had never aligned, and this clash had been brewing for quite some time. It wasn't just a matter of minor differences, it was a deep-seated issue that had caused tension for years. But what happened next, however, was the turning point that neither of them had expected. In the heat of the moment, after a particularly heated argument, my mother-in-law decided to take a drastic step. She had been feeling increasingly unsupported and frustrated, and in a fit of anger, she pulled out a signed divorce form that had been prepared in secret. It was a last-ditch attempt to exert control over the situation, hoping that my father-in-law would change his ways if he were faced with the consequences of a divorce. However, her plan backfired. Instead of begging her to reconsider, my father-in-law took the opportunity to free himself from the years of stress and strife that had defined their relationship. The very next day, he took the signed form to the local government office and submitted it. My mother-in-law, who had been expecting a more dramatic confrontation, was left utterly stunned. What she had intended as a threat had quickly become an irreversible reality. There was no turning back now. She realized that her impulsive decision had effectively ended her marriage, and she was left with nothing but regret. It was a harsh wake-up call for her, and one that she wasn't prepared for. As soon as the divorce was official, the reality of the situation sank in. My mother-in-law had to leave the house where she had lived for so long, no longer able to stay in her marital home. She began scrambling for somewhere to go. It didn't take long for her to decide that her only option was to move in with us, my husband Brad and me. Without consulting us first, she sent over a shipment of her belongings, as though we had already agreed to take her in. This move, while bold, was also incredibly presumptuous. We were caught completely off guard by the unexpected arrival of her possessions. Brad and I stood there in shock as the delivery truck unloaded boxes of her things on our doorstep. There had been no warning, no prior discussion. She simply assumed that we would accommodate her without considering how this would affect our lives. We had our own routine, our own space, and the idea of suddenly opening our home to her felt overwhelming. Brad, ever the problem solver, wasted no time in addressing the situation. Instead of confronting his mother directly, he reached out to her older brother, the only remaining relative who might be able to offer any assistance. Brad explained the situation, outlining the difficulties of housing his mother and the implications for our family. His uncle, who had been dealing with his sister's behavior for years, wasn't particularly surprised by her actions. He was familiar with her stubbornness and understood the challenges she presented. However, he agreed to help. Brad arranged for the shipment of my mother-in-law's belongings to be redirected to her brother's house. The items were rerouted and the situation was resolved without much drama. But just as we thought the matter was settled, my mother-in-law arrived at our doorstep completely unannounced. It was as if she expected us to simply accept her into our home without any discussion. Brad, who had prepared himself for this possibility, calmly and firmly explained the situation to his mother. He told her that we were not in a position to take her in and that her belongings had already been sent to her brother's home. My mother-in-law was taken aback by this response. She'd clearly expected a warm welcome, but instead she found herself being turned away. It wasn't the outcome she had hoped for, and she was visibly upset. To avoid further conflict, Brad's uncle came over to personally escort my mother-in-law back to his home. It was a somewhat awkward and uncomfortable moment, but ultimately it was the best solution for everyone involved. We didn't want to completely shut her out, but we also needed to establish boundaries and protect our own family life. Now my mother-in-law lives at her brother's home, which has already passed into the hands of the next generation. The home is no longer truly hers. It now belongs to her nephew, and she occupies a small, isolated corner of the house. Her once commanding presence is diminished, and she now lives in a much more modest and humble situation. It's a far cry from the life that she once had, and I'm sure it's difficult for her to adjust to this new reality. Brad's uncle has said that she spends most of her time quietly, keeping to herself. She doesn't want to draw attention to her situation, and she seems to avoid conflict at all costs. But there's no denying that her life has dramatically changed. The woman who once ruled her household with an iron fist is now living on the fringes of her family, no longer the center of attention. It's a humbling experience, and I can't help but feel a sense of justice in how things have turned out. For years, my mother-in-law had been the source of much of the tension in our family. Her refusal to compromise and her ability to manipulate situations for her own benefit created many problems, especially with my father-in-law. Now it seems as though the tables had turned. She was the one facing the consequences of her actions. While I do feel some sympathy for her, there's also a sense of satisfaction in knowing that her behavior has finally caught up with her. Looking back, it's clear that my mother-in-law's life has been shaped by her refusal to bend or adjust to the needs of others. She's always been quick to judge and criticize, but now she's on the receiving end of the same treatment. It's a difficult lesson, but one that could potentially help her grow and change. Time will tell whether she learns from this experience or continues down the same path of self-centeredness and pride. As for Brad and me, this situation has taught us some valuable lessons about boundaries and family dynamics. We've learned that it's important to stand firm in our decisions, even when it's uncomfortable. We've also learned that we cannot sacrifice our own happiness and well-being for the sake of others who are unwilling to change or respect our limits. Our home is our sanctuary, and we must protect it from outside influences that seek to disrupt our peace. Moving forward, I hope that my mother-in-law can use this time to reflect on her life and the choices she's made. She has the opportunity to reinvent herself, but only if she's willing to let go of her past behaviors. It's not an easy path, but it's the only one that will lead to any sort of redemption. Whether or not she takes that path remains to be seen. For now, Brad and I are focused on our own future, one that is free from the drama and tension that has so often plagued our family. We've built a life together, and we intend to protect that life. We've learned how to set boundaries and how to deal with difficult family situations in a way that preserves our own happiness. In the end, life has a way of evening the score. My mother-in-law's story is a reminder that actions have consequences, and sometimes the things we do come back to haunt us. While it's hard to watch anyone go through a difficult time, it's also important to remember that we all reap what we sow. My mother-in-law's downfall was a direct result of her own choices, and now she must live with the consequences. Brad and I are moving forward with our lives, undeterred by the challenges that have come our way. Our relationship has grown much stronger through adversity, and we've learned the importance of staying true to ourselves. This experience has taught us that no matter what happens, we must always prioritize our own happiness and well-being. This experience opened my eyes to how important it is to be firm in our decisions, even when it feels uncomfortable or difficult. For a long time, I feel like I've had to accommodate everyone, especially family. But now I understand that in order to protect what Brad and I have built together, we must prioritize our needs. After all, we're the ones living our lives, and we can't let anyone disrupt the happiness we've worked so hard to achieve. As for my mother-in-law, I can't say I feel much sympathy for her anymore. Yes, I acknowledge that she's going through a difficult time, but her own actions have led her to this point. She spent so many years controlling situations and the people around her that it's no surprise that eventually everything started to unravel. Her world has been turned upside down, and now she must face the consequences of her own behavior. But as hard as it is to say, it's the only way she might learn. Brad and I are now stronger, more united than ever. We've learned that sometimes to move forward, you need to let go of the toxic elements in your life, even if they are family. It's a hard truth, but one that's been necessary for us. We're no longer afraid of confrontation, and we know that we must protect the life that we've built together. In the end, my mother-in-law's story is a lesson for everyone. Actions have consequences, and sometimes those consequences are inevitable. We can only hope that, in time, she learns to reflect on her past and make better choices for her future. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Hey, Matt, your business trip started today, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just like I mentioned this morning, I'll be away for 2 nights and 3 days starting today. I wrapped up my work at the company in the morning and then left right after lunch to catch my flight.
Got it. So everything seems like it's on track with no changes in the plan, right?
Yep, that's right. No changes so far. Wait a second. What's up with you today? You don't usually ask me about my schedule like this. You're being extra curious today.
Well, it's just that I'm also going on a trip starting today, so I figured it would be a good idea for both of us to keep track of each other's plans, just to be on the safe side.
Oh, I see now. So you're going on a trip with Miley from Virginia, huh?
Yep, that's right. Just like you, it's a 2-night, 3-day trip, and there are no changes in the schedule.
Got it. So everything's set for both of us then.
But, I feel kind of guilty. I feel like I'm the one just going off to enjoy myself while you're stuck working and staying away for business.
Oh, come on, don't feel bad about it. It's not like that at all. Business trips can actually be a bit of a break, believe it or not.
Really? I wouldn't think of it as a break. I thought they were all about work.
No, really. Once the work part of the trip is done, it's actually quite relaxing. After meetings or whatever business I have to take care of, I get to just chill at the hotel and not worry about anything. In fact, it's probably healthier than sitting at a desk for hours on end, staring at a screen all day.
Wow, I never thought about it that way. I always imagined business trips were just exhausting.
Trust me, they can be, but there's a certain freedom to it that's hard to explain. It's like I'm out of the office and just getting to reset. It's nice. You should try it sometime.
I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, I think it's about time for me to head out and meet Miley now. We've got a few things planned for the day.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm also about to head out now, so we're both off to our own trips.
Right, let's both enjoy our time away, even if it's for different reasons. I'll message you again later tonight once I've settled in. It'll be nice to catch up.
Sounds good. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right then, take care on your way and have a safe trip.
You too. Don't have too much fun without me, and enjoy the time with Miley.
Matt, how's it going on your side?
I just finished work and checked into the hotel for my business trip. Man, I'm exhausted. So tired.
Work can really drain you, huh?
Yeah, it really does.
What kind of work did you have today?
Just a normal business negotiation. I can't go into too much detail since it's about company matters, but we were finalizing details with the other party about the next contract renewal.
Oh, wow. You traveled all the way there just to handle a contract renewal? That's pretty intense.
Well, this is with one of the most important clients for our company, so it's kind of a must. It's also a bit of a courtesy call, you know?
Got it. By the way, your company seems pretty generous.
Huh?
I mean, allowing one employee to stay in a suite that cost hundreds of dollars per night for a business trip?
No, that's not how it is at all. Sure, in big cities or tourist destinations, it's okay if the price is a bit higher. But even then, it's usually around $100. The trip isn't to a big city or tourist spot, so the prices are pretty reasonable.
So you're saying New York City isn't a big city or a tourist spot?
Wait, what?
Actually, I just checked into the hotel where you're staying for your business trip.
What? But you were supposed to be traveling with Miley.
Yeah, Miley and I are here on a sightseeing trip in New York.
Wait a second! But you were talking about looking forward to the outdoor bath, right? Wasn't your trip supposed to be to a hot spring resort?
Oh, that. We're planning to stop by a ski resort on the way back, which has an outdoor bath. I was talking about the outdoor bath there.
Are you serious?
So, I guess you figured out what's really going on now, right?
What? What do you mean?
Whether you're genuinely clueless or just pretending not to know, let me clarify. Amy Jackson.
What?
She's your business trip companion, right? But wait, why are two people of the opposite gender staying in the same room for a business trip? Doesn't that seem a little inappropriate from the company's perspective?
Oh, I see. You must have seen me and Amy check in together. It's actually the hotel's mistake. The suite room mix-up is their fault, too. They were supposed to prepare another room for us, but I haven't heard back from the front desk yet. Something's weird, huh?
Even if you call the front desk now, it won't help.
No, really, it's true. There's no reason to think anything shady is going on. The hotel made a mistake, but that's it.
It's not a hotel mistake. You booked the room from the start with the understanding that you and Amy would stay in the same room, right? And it was Amy, the little princess, who requested the suite.
How do you know that for sure?
Because I've got proof.
What?
Haven't you figured it out yet?
Figured out what?
This is the same hotel we stayed at when we were in college with our club, remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember that, but so what?
I'm glad you liked the hotel, but maybe it would have been better to do a little more research beforehand.
What are you talking about?
You still don't get it? Well, there should be a hotel brochure in the room. Go ahead and open the page with the innkeeper's greeting.
Fine. What is this even about?
Look on the table. Just go ahead and check it out.
Fine. Okay, I'm looking at it. Wait a minute. The innkeeper? It's Miley?
That's right. Miley's the innkeeper here now.
Wait, hold on. When we came here last time, the innkeeper was a woman in her 40s or 50s, wasn't it?
That was the previous innkeeper, Miley's mother. Her health worsened recently, so Miley married the head chef at the hotel and took over as the innkeeper.
Seriously?
And by the way, the hotel's owner is Miley's father. When I was in charge of the club's trip reservation, that's why I knew how things worked.
Wait a second! Does this mean that the reason we got free dessert and drinks back then?
Yep, that was a gesture from Miley's father. Now, let's get to the current situation. When you booked the twin suite for your stay, it was Miley who handled your call.
Wait, seriously?
At the time, she was in work mode, so she avoided personal topics, but you were on the phone saying, "We'll be staying as a married couple." So Miley must have assumed you were coming with your wife. She even reached out personally to recommend some spots. When she found out what was really going on, your affair came to light, and, well, here we are.
No way!
So let's continue. Amy, your affair partner, is the only daughter of one of the company's executives, right?
What? You looked that up too?
Well, of course, since my husband is having an affair, it's only natural I'd find out everything.
So it's all out in the open now?
That's right. So what are you going to do about it?
I don't care. I love Amy. So just divorce me already.
That was fast, huh?
Say what you want. Amy's beautiful, elegant, and pure. Most importantly, she's the daughter of the company president. She's way better than you.
Now that you mention it, you've always liked the elegant, refined characters in games and movies, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true. Amy is like a real-life version of the ideal, refined woman I've always dreamed of.
I see. Well, let me get back to the point. I do want a divorce, but just to make sure you're aware, you know you'll be the one paying alimony, right?
Of course.
Well, then I'll be asking for it, and I'm assuming you've got the money to pay?
Well, of course. Like I've said, Amy's the daughter of a company president, and she's the only child, so if we get married, I'll become the next president. This company's way bigger than the one I'm working at now, so paying alimony will be no problem at all. It's like I'm hitting the jackpot. I'm gonna be living the dream just like those stories in games and movies. This is my lucky break. I can't let it slip away.
Wait a second. Do you not know?
Not know what?
The heir to that company is actually their nephew.
What?
Yeah, it seems he's already set to take over as president next year.
What? Nephew?
Yep. And by the way, Amy already has a fiancé and there are multiple men courting her. You're just one of her playthings.
What? You're lying, right? This can't be true.
Oh, you didn't know all this, huh? How cute.
Wait, does this mean I can't become president?
Well, that's right. But I don't think you should be shocked about that right now.
Wait, there's more!
Amy's father is furious about your affair with his daughter. He actually called your company and canceled the business relationship.
What?
He said, I refuse to do business with a company that has such irresponsible employees.
No way! That's company confidential! There's no way they could leak that! So you must have no idea what you're talking about! You're just making up stories!
Well, you see, we're here now. Amy's father is right here with us.
What?
I had already planned to confront you with the affair, and when I told him about it, he insisted on coming to finalize things here today. Oh, don't bother calling. We're staying in the room next door.
What?
Well, let's move to your room to talk. We'll bring in the lawyer, too, and settle this face to face. Right after this, we barged into the suite where Matt and Amy were. The door swung open and the atmosphere immediately shifted. It felt almost surreal as we entered the room where the two of them had been, not just living out their own private drama, but making decisions that would affect all of us for the rest of our lives. The scene inside was tense. Matt and Amy were sitting on the couch looking almost stunned, not expecting the confrontation that was coming their way. They had no idea we were coming, but they should have known better. This was the end game, the point of no return. The lawyer who had been with me throughout this ordeal stepped forward, his demeanor cool and professional as always. He was the one leading this entire process, ensuring everything was done legally and properly. He advised me at every stage of this chaos, and now it was time to put everything into motion. Under the lawyer's direction, we were about to settle things right then and there. The divorce papers were placed in front of them. The moment had arrived. There was no going back. Matt's face, already pale from the overwhelming realization of what he had done, grew even paler as the papers were pushed toward him. Amy looked more resigned than surprised, her expression a mixture of shame and inevitability. She knew there was no escape now. The damage was done. Her actions and Matt's had led to this moment. Without wasting any more time, the lawyer instructed both of them to sign the divorce papers immediately. It wasn't a request, it was a demand. There was no room for negotiation or hesitation. They had both made their choices, and now they had to deal with the consequences of those choices. The room was thick with the weight of the situation, but there was no alternative but to comply. After all, this was the only way to legally dissolve the mess they had created. The signing was done quickly, almost in a robotic manner. Neither of them looked at each other as they signed, but their eyes flickered briefly toward one another, a fleeting moment of shared understanding that, for all the passion and connection they had once felt, it was over. The life they had tried to build together, the lies, the betrayal, the broken promises, it all led to this moment, and now there was no turning back. The lawyer took the signed papers and began to finalize the details. As for me, I felt a strange sense of satisfaction. This was the culmination of months of emotional turmoil, of uncertainty, and of pain. Finally, it was all coming to an end, but in some ways, it was only the beginning of a new chapter for me. I had been patient through this whole process, waiting for the moment when I could take control of my own future, and now it was time. But Matt wasn't the only one affected by this. His company had been hit hard by the scandal surrounding him. The affair between him and Amy had gone public in a way that was impossible to ignore, and the backlash had been swift and severe. Their biggest business partner, who had been a longtime supporter of the company, was so disgusted by Matt's actions that they severed all ties. The deal they had been working on for months fell apart, and with it, the company lost millions of dollars. It was a massive blow, one that left the entire organization reeling. The company's upper management, not willing to tolerate the scandal, made the decision to cut ties with Matt. The resignation was inevitable. In a way, he had no choice but to leave. His presence had become toxic, and despite his previous position and contributions to the company, there was no recovering from this. The damage was too great. He was asked to resign, and there was no going back. His professional career, much like his personal life, had collapsed. And as the one who had caused all this, Matt had no one but himself to blame. The worst part for him, perhaps, was that there was no dignity in his departure. He was escorted out of the building in disgrace, with whispers and stares following him wherever he went. It was a humiliating moment, one that would stay with him for the rest of his life. The man who had once been so confident, so secure in his career, was now left with nothing but the ruins of his past decisions. As for me, I wasn't about to let this pass without claiming what was rightfully mine. I'd suffered enough, and I was going to make sure that Matt and Amy paid for what they had done. The emotional toll had been heavy, and though money could never fully compensate for the hurt and betrayal I had experienced, it was the least I could do. I demanded a lump sum payment from them as alimony, one that would make sure I didn't have to deal with this situation for the rest of my life. There was no hesitation on my part. I wasn't going to allow them to walk away from this without facing the financial consequences of their actions. I was going to ensure that I was compensated for everything, every moment of pain, every sleepless night, every ounce of emotional energy that had been drained from me. They had taken so much from me, and now it was time for them to pay. I demanded the full amount up front, no installments, no payment plans, just a lump sum. And surprisingly, they agreed. Amy, who had been once so sure of herself, looked defeated as she handed over the payment. Matt, too, seemed resigned to the fact that he had no choice. It wasn't a victory, not in the true sense of the word, but it was justice in some form, and that was enough for me. Looking back, I couldn't help but think that in some ways I had been fortunate. Despite everything that had happened, there were no children involved. If there had been kids in the picture, things would have been much more complicated. Child custody, visitation rights, and the emotional toll on the children would have been overwhelming. I was lucky in that sense, though I knew it wasn't something I could take for granted. The emotional scars were still there, but at least I didn't have the added burden of worrying about a child caught in the middle of this mess. As for Amy, the fallout of her affair was swift and unforgiving. The acting world, once full of promise for her, turned its back on her completely. The news of her betrayal spread like wildfire through the industry, and it wasn't long before her career came to a screeching halt. No one wanted to work with her anymore. The scandal had ruined her reputation, and she had nowhere to turn. She had once been the promising starlet with a bright future, but now she was nothing more than a cautionary tale. Her engagement to Matt was officially called off. It had been a short-lived romance, one that had burned bright and fast before fizzling out in spectacular fashion. Promises of love and a shared future had crumbled into nothing, leaving Amy with only the remnants of her shattered dreams. To make matters worse, Amy found herself cut off from her family. Her father, as he had promised, disowned her. The rejection was swift and harsh, a final blow to someone who had already lost so much. It wasn't that her father had never warned her about her actions. He had made it clear that if she ever brought shame to the family, he would not hesitate to cut ties. And true to his word, he did just that. There would be no forgiveness, no second chances. Amy was on her own, without the safety net of her family to fall back on. With nowhere else to turn, Amy found herself working at a night establishment. It wasn't glamorous, but it was the only way she could make ends meet. She had once dreamed of being a star, but now she was stuck in a world far removed from the glitz and glamour she had once known. The work was difficult, and it wasn't long before the reality of her situation set in. She had no choice but to keep pushing forward, even as her dreams of stardom slipped further and further away. As for Matt, after everything had fallen apart, he retreated back to his family home. But instead of picking up the pieces of his life and trying to rebuild, he chose to hide away from the world. He locked himself in his room, isolating himself from everyone and everything. It was as if he had given up. There was no effort to find a new job, no effort to move forward in any meaningful way. Instead, Matt became obsessed with anime and video games. It was as if these fictional worlds were the only thing that could give him solace. He threw himself into these virtual realms, living out romantic fantasies with two-dimensional characters. It was strange, almost pathetic, to see a man who had once had everything retreat into a world of escapism. He seemed to find more comfort in these imaginary relationships than in confronting the harsh reality of his own life. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.